goals for 2022. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, it's Stephanie from Three Queens Resale, and if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for joining me. It does mean a lot as I work on building my reseller community. And if you are returning, thank you so much to my reseller besties who are always here for me. Thank you so much. It does mean a lot to me as I work on building my YouTube community. And I just can't say enough about how appreciative I am of that. So today's video, I'm going to go over some goals for 2022. And I thought it'd be fun if we all kind of shared our big goal for 2022 in the comments. And then each month we could kind of check in with each other and encourage each other throughout the month, throughout the year, so that come this time next year, we can be claiming our victory. So I'm going to I will go through my numbers from 2021 in another video, but today I just wanted to focus on the change in my business plan model and my goals for 2022. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, do all the things. Just a reminder, I am trying to get my YouTube channel out, grow my YouTube channel, and that is done by you guys interacting, staying to the very, very end. So even if you get tired of listening to me, kind of stay, please. And commenting and sharing the video with your other friends who are interested in reselling, friends, family members, whoever would be interested in reselling. That way when people search reselling or getting started in reselling or Poshmark, my beautiful face comes closer to the top and people click on me, they subscribe, we have more reseller besties, and it's just a party up in here. So I appreciate you guys for interacting with the video. So change in my business model. So my former business model was to resell anything I could get my hands on. That was it. So free or cheap was my friend, and then I would flip it for whatever I could get for it. Not a bad model when you're starting out. If you are a part-time reseller starting out, I definitely suggest that you sell what you have. Do not spend money sourcing inventory. Sell what you have first, build up your revenue source, and then you can start sourcing for inventory. The trick is, I think that when I switched to full-time reselling in August, I did not switch that line of thinking. So I just thought I have more time to pick up dollar items and flip more dollar items. So it's very much like volume based. And so what I learned throughout the course of the year, primarily at the end of the year when I did my 1,000 item listing challenge, which you can see the results up here, is that I didn't want to be a volume seller anymore. I had some other things that I wanted to do, and I did not want to be constantly caught in this rat race of sourcing, listing, thousands of items just to make a decent income. So what I decided to do is consider paying up for things that would get me a higher sell price and a better return on my investment. So I'm looking at, and I started after the challenge, probably in December, sourcing items that are only going to yield a $30 profit. So that means they probably have to sell for $50 or more to compensate for the fees and the cost of goods and the meat for me to net 30. I have a whole house full of stuff that doesn't meet that. And some of that, so I'm going through each of the tubs and making sure that it's listed, because I have found in every section one or two that somehow didn't get listed or whatever need to be relisted. So I'm going through the tubs and I'm pulling out those things that just are not going to even yield $15. And I'm sending those things to ThreadUp. Um, I have 5 ThreadUp labels, so I'm sending those things out because I want to create space in my inventory room for the incoming inventory that I find that is going to yield a higher return on investment. A lot of the inventory I currently have was given to me. So it's like no sweat off my back to give it to ThreadUp and get pennies on the dollar or only get a few dollars for it because it was given to me in the beginning. And I feel like I need to do this in order to push on, to move forward with where I want my business to be and to achieve the goals that I want to achieve in 2022. So that's the switch. Instead of just a high volume seller um, that will take anything, I still want some volume, and I'll go over my numbers in a minute, how many I want to list for the year, but I don't want to break my neck sourcing and listing all the time because, as I've mentioned, I work, even though I'm a full time reseller, I do have another job that I work, and I'm working on my other YouTube channel as well, producing educational content. So I just have varied interest, and I want to be able to give attention to all of them and be successful in all of them. So, moving on. So, my goals for 2022. So, I was thinking last night, and my husband and I went out for dinner for, it was New Year's Eve, so we just went out to dinner because we were kid free. And we were talking, and I said, so how much do you think should be our goal for this coming year? And he said 200,000. And I'm like, okay. But then upon some further reflection, I have decided that our goal for 2022 is going to be 80,000 in sales and 6,000 new listings in the year. So when I break those numbers down, we would need to sell about $6,666 worth of inventory a month. And I do think that's doable, especially with the change in our inventory. Of course, it's going to take a while to turn our ship around because I do have close to 2,000 items already in inventory. So to just change the whole model, of course, I'm going to sell some of this stuff super cheap just to get rid of it. But I do have high-end items coming in that as we move towards the middle of the year, I hope to see us like on the right side of meeting that goal. Um, so, how do I plan to achieve this goal? Um, so, step one, sourcing items, like I mentioned, that will sell for $30 or more. I'd like to even, as the year goes on, creep up higher and higher and higher. Um, so that requires me really looking at comps and researching items before I purchase them. The second is I'm going to rein in, I'm going to cross list and be consistent with that because if you're new to my channel or if you've been here for a while, Poshmark is my main bay, but I also spend the most attention and time on Poshmark, so I want to spread that out evenly across the other platforms. So the platforms that we are going to go with moving forward are eBay, Mercari, Kidizen, Tradesy, and Grailed. We are not going to sell on Facebook Marketplace unless it's a hard good, and I am not going to do Depop anymore at this time. Um, of course, I could always add those back in, but just for right now, moving forward, I'm going to stick with those platforms mentioned, and I'm also going to really focus on ThreadUp, sending older inventory to ThreadUp and luxury inventory that I can't move within 90 days to the real. So cross-listing and turning over inventory a little quicker, I hope will help me get to that goal. And my husband has already started cross-listing the items from the listing challenge over to Macari, and our Macari sales have already picked up. So he's almost completed that, and so I anticipate like he'll do that for the other platforms, in addition to me listing new items every day into List Perfectly, um, and pushing those out. I definitely anticipate that we can hit those numbers if we cross list. And then to list daily, I can get lazy, especially after that listing challenge. I'm telling you, I got wiped out. Like mentally, it was like doing something to me. Like I had a few days where I was like, I'm not listing. Um, but I'm back on it. Everything in moderation. To meet that goal of 6,000 listings in the year, on average, I'd have to list 16 items a day, 16 to 17, which after listing like 40 a day is no problem for me. Um, so I'm not going to list every day, but I'm definitely going to um, push drafts out pretty consistently so that we can meet that goal. And next is sourcing. So, as you guys all know, I do love the bins. I will continue to source at the bins because I have found many a rare gem at the bins. It just takes a long time to do that. So, I am going to probably go to the bins once or twice a month. It just depends. I want to eliminate death piles in the house just because there's so much stuff in my house. So I want to get everything organized before I go back and get caught up on all the hauls that I do have. I have like 3 hauls coming up um, this month. So, well, in the next 2 weeks. So I just want to still use the bins because you just can't beat the cost of goods, but also focus on consignment shops. There are 2 consignment shops here in central Indiana that I'm very partial to, but I am going to look into the other consignment shops here and definitely just continue to try some different Goodwills. Um, we have some very affluent areas here in central Indiana. Um, I know people say it doesn't matter, like you can find good stuff at a bad Goodwill or in a rougher neighborhood. I think it does. That's just my opinion. Everybody has their opinion. Because in central Indiana, we have local Goodwill drop off. Like the Goodwill, like that's point 0.2 miles from my house. I have seen stuff on the rack that I donated. So I know that most of the stuff that is donated there is sold there. So I know it's not like that at other parts around the country, but it is here where I am. So, and they probably do transport some out to Goodwills that don't get enough donations, but I definitely think like if I go to some of the more affluent areas, and I've gone to more affluent areas, and I found brands that I have not found in other areas. So it's just my thing. It's what I believe. It might be completely wrong, but I'm definitely going to have a little map of Goodwills that I'm going to frequent. Not just on dollar day, so that was another change. I love a dollar day, don't get me wrong. Sundays here in central Indiana, the color of the week drops down to $1. But what I'm going to focus on, still the color of the week. I'm going to try to go earlier in the week when it's 50% off so I can find those high end gems um, as time permits. I have a busy schedule, so. And then lastly, I want to increase my brand knowledge. And as we go through that, as I go through the year, I want to learn about different brands. And I want you guys to tell me about different brands. And we could just all increase our brand knowledge together. The more brands we know to look out for, to be on the lookout for, the better our business is going to be, the easier it is going to be for us to reach our goals. So, that's it for my goals for 2021, or excuse me, 2022. Please share your goals in the comments down below. 1, 2, 3, all of them. I'd love to hear them, and even a strategy of how you're going to achieve them. And let's just really cheer each other on in the comments and bring a friend. I am attempting to do more videos here on YouTube. And I'm starting a series a brand new how to start Poshmark from zero to your first listing. So that's coming up here in the next week. So if you have friends who are interested in starting on Poshmark, tell them not to pay for a class. Don't pay anybody for information. We can figure this out together. I'm a teacher. I can figure out anything. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Happy New Year and see you soon. Bye.